Hi guys, welcome back to August Love Story, the channel. My name is Artieka.
And my name is Tommy.
And today we are reviewing Married at First Sight, season 18?
Yeah.
Yes, season 18, episode 13. That episode is titled The Truth Always Comes Out. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell. Let's just start with least amount of issues here. Camille and Thomas.
All right, next. No.
This episode was really them trying to talk about their sex life, and it is very awkward to talk about your sex life on TV.
Yeah. It's a little one-sided too, apparently.
Apparently so.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm a giver and she ain't giving enough. And she's like, whips and chains excite me. And he's like, but you could give too. And she's like, well, I have to get to that place. So you just be lying.
Right.
About everything. Because you like, I need some aggression. And that you ain't as aggressive as you think.
He be sitting there gentle loving to her. And she wants some butt slapping.
She wants some thug loving.
Right.
I hear Bobby Brown.
Lord Jesus. That's funny, man.
Yeah, that was pretty much all I had for this couple.
Do you think it's going to be a problem? Like, because I personally, I think sex is a learned action between partners. Like, the first time it's not going to be like the 10th time. The 10th time is not going to be like the 100th time that you have sex with one person. But it's going to get better and better because of practice. And then conversation about things you like, things you don't like, things you're willing to try, things you aren't willing to try, and stuff like that. Like in the beginning, people don't really know. But in his case, I get it. He's like, if somebody asks, like, I don't mind giving, but I want it in return. Like, who doesn't? Type of thing. But it was weird watching it. Hearing them talking about it, just like I always feel like that's the awkward conversation.
That is the awkward conversation. And then you try not to use the language that you would traditionally use.
Right.
Because you're on TV.
Right. I was like, man, she ain't give him no head.
He was like, I give.
He definitely was going through his Rolodex on what to say.
How am I gonna convey this?
Right.
To an audience that might have children in it.
But it just gets so awkward, and then Dr. Pia and her gives, like, y'all try this, and they had ropes and I
wonder if she sells just the tip.
I don't know. That was a solid game. They played that. They didn't play that.
They had it.
Did they?
Because she held up the cards.
Yeah, that's product placement type thing.
Absolutely. If I had a product.
We're making a game.
Okay. But we don't have a game right now.
We're gonna make a game this year. It's called we
don't
thought about
worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'm not doing this with you. But if I had a game and I am the intimacy coach on a television show and my game is about intimacy, absolutely. Every season, going in the box. We're gonna talk about it, and I'm gonna say just the tip every time.
Yeah.
Anywho, that's all I have for them. Do you have anything else?
The funny part about it was, all I was thinking was when they tied each other up and she kept leaving, I was like, what if she can't get him untied?
I was like, come here, stop jumping on that man. You know that his body is 42.
Man, that man's hamstrings is gonna pop just from thinking about this what he gotta go through. But she was like, I was like, man, this is too much for TV for me. Anyway, that's all I have, man. I'm glad they having sex and moving in the direction that they should and need to move to make this relationship progressive, unlike their counterparts.
I do want to say this because I'm not going to do a separate thing. If you want to weave in anything that happened at the sound bath or the boxing, weave it into each couple.
They didn't say anything.
No. I know that. I'm just telling you this because
you ain't gonna make a special.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that conversation didn't
go anywhere.
Yeah.
Exactly. So next, let's go to MM and Ikechi. They went to meet at an ice cream shop.
That was this episode?
Yeah. He told her that he was going to homecoming and to see his family.
Oh, yeah.
Without saying, I want to go too, she said, oh, I'd love to see your mother. And he was like, yep.
Yeah.
So he told her while he was gone that he would call her in the mornings and in the evenings on FaceTime. She was like, oh, I would love that. Didn't hear anything from him while he was gone. She did call Dr. Pia at the ending of the episode and let her know that they didn't move in together. That he told her that he would be calling every day, twice a day. And she said, I ain't heard from him once. It's interesting that he's gone to homecoming and you wouldn't go to homecoming with your new wife. I'm like, because you're not going to be his wife next homecoming. Ain't no point in bringing you around and everybody be like, what happened?
You ain't going to be his wife next week.
I mean, next week he tried to not make her be the wife next week.
We don't know what's going to happen.
But,
why do that anyway?
I don't know.
You know what I was finna say.
Why would you do that at the end of the thing? At the end of the process?
Yeah, like at the retreat. Because that's where they was at.
Oh, they were? I thought they was at a restaurant.
Nah. No, I'm talking about the preview. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
She was upset about him not wearing this ring, and I thought about you. Because you never wear your ring.
It don't fit right now.
Yeah.
And you need to resize.
And like for the last few weeks, I can't find mine.
Yeah, I don't know where
I have no clue where it is, but it's like
it's in the house.
I know it is, and I put it somewhere so stupid, and I was like, man, that's a bad spot to put it because you're gonna, you ain't gonna find it.
Where it is. You should have told Google.
I should have, but I didn't. So, she was upset about that, but I'm like,
why I turned around like I was looking for it? Like, nope, not over there either.
Man, you need to see how many times I've looked on this little thing to see.
I looked at your desk, but I was like, not over there either.
I looked on my desk. I was like, nah. What I got to do is clean up all the papers, and that's where I'm not gonna find it. It's gonna be somewhere so stupid. I'm gonna be like, this is like gonna be on the top shelf in the closet. Like, why did I put this here? Excuse me, but I just can't figure out the push to like be in a relationship with this guy. You know what I'm saying? Like she maybe she's playing us and like just playing along the role. Like, oh, I tried this, or I participated here. I did this. I'm doing my part. He's the one not doing his part.
Yeah.
But for me, I don't get the try at this point because it's a failed marriage.
It looks good to her or to somebody. I don't know.
Your chances of this succeeding is -1. Whatever you want to call it. But then even coming into it, you was 75% chance that it was gonna work. Because if we look at
it should have been 50-50.
We look at Married at First Sight's history. If they have 5 couples, one is gonna stick together.
Except for that one season that everybody said they was gonna stay married, and then nobody stayed married. And by the
reunion, everybody had broken up
and hated each other.
Yeah, so. Like, coming into it, it's not a strong chance that it's gonna work. But by the offset chance that it works, you have a small opportunity. So it's like seeing that all of this, I get wanting to stay in your contract, but saying the things, because even when she was talking with Dr. Pia was conceding.
You have to have a level of optimism for us to be like, why they ain't just leave?
Yeah.
And that's what they're giving us. The level of optimism.
But I feel like that conversation she had with Dr. Pia was a concession conversation that Dr. Pia was having with her.
The first time?
No.
The first time when she was like, why do you want to be married?
No. I'm talking about this on this episode.
But I'm saying that one was mine. Why do you even want to be married? Right. If somebody asks me, why do you even want to be married? I'd be like, you don't think I should be married?
Mm-hmm. You don't think I should be married? Right. But it's the same thing of us saying, why are you trying so hard?
I mean,
with this man, like, it ain't working.
I'm fully. It ain't working.
It ain't working, man. So it's like, all right. So, but, that conversation, Dr. Peel didn't know that he had, they didn't decide to move in together either. Mm-hmm. And I was like, that'd have been the first thing. We ain't moved in together.
Everybody's trying to resolve their issues on their own, except for Michelle. And not have to get the experts involved. But it's like, I've liked the more hands-on. Huh? What'd you say?
Nothing.
What did you say?
I started singing the song.
Oh. I like the more hands-on approach with the experts. Like, I feel like we see them more this season than we did last season.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't watch all of last season, but whatever. Being available to them to help them talk through things has been great. However, MM should have counted her losses. I think at this point, she's just trying to say, I did my part.
Yeah. I think so. I think that's what we're seeing from her is I'm still in this thing because I'm contractually obligated to go to 8 weeks, but this ain't working.
Yeah.
But I just don't want her to get her feelings hurt.
I don't think they hurt.
Yeah. Okay. Moving right along.
Next up is Carla and Juan. Dr. Pia talks to them for some reason. Juan is nervous. Carla was like, your girlfriend's here.
Who's this girl? Oh,
Dr. Pia. When she came to them, it was like, your girlfriend's here. Mm-hmm. They talk about Juan meeting her parents. Dr. Pia asked about the photos with her friends and asked if he's comfortable because she was like, I follow you on social media and this is some of the stuff you be posting. And Juan is like, yeah, totally cool with it. No problem. I was like, Dr. Pia, them her gay friends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so
Juan was like, yeah, if everybody needs whatever dude's name is.
Yeah.
I did have an issue with this old lady in this nightgown.
Juan said he don't think she had on any panties.
I don't think so either. They blurred out one part. I was like, Lord Jesus, this woman. Don't come to my house in no nightgown talking about we finna do some tantric yoga.
But you know the point of it, right?
Yeah, it's to get you in the mood, ain't it?
I mean, it's not to get you in the mood necessarily, but it is a high level of intimacy. As far as like, I ain't gonna say as close as you can get without going in, but in the sense of yoga.
Yeah.
It's just it's supposed to help you become more comfortable with each other, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of times people do tantric yoga nude.
Yeah.
And Juan was like, nah, I'm not going there. And then he was like, she was ready to like jump off the deep end.
Yeah.
He was like, I wouldn't. This is what he said on After Party. Yeah. Like, I wasn't here for all of that.
Man, it's crazy how, like, I was like, this woman here, I would be like freaked out a little bit that somebody's grandmother is in here rubbing a flower on me. Like, please stop, lady.
And she's like, let out some sound from your body.
Yeah. Make them moan.
Back in her day, though.
Yeah.
She was probably doing the thing.
She probably ain't too much older than us, man. She just looked old with that nightgown on. And how you come to the door with the night? Like, you ain't have no clothes on? Like, is this how you showed up?
They got a parking garage. She was like, I'm just walking from the garage to the door. I'm cool.
Let me get in character.
That might not be a character. That might be her baby.
Man, Lord Jesus, man. Juan didn't take that serious. And I think it hurt Carla's feelings a little bit because you see she was all into it. But Juan was like, I'm just doing this so I don't get fined. And
tantric yoga seems like it would be right on brand with Carla in general.
Yeah.
And I say that because she does sound bowls. She does Pilates. I'm sure if you do Pilates, you've done yoga. And this is just adding on. This might be something that she's looking at like, man, this could be a service I can offer.
Yeah, probably. I would.
Yeah. If
I was her. But, because the sound bowl thing, when she did that with the girls, I was like, kudos to you, man. Got your little studio rented out and you doing a little sound bowl on your thing.
Mm-hmm. I would have told everybody to dress differently, but that's another story.
I don't think they knew how to dress.
Well, I guess because like I've never done sound bowls, but I'm familiar enough and be like, all right, leggings.
Yeah.
Like I feel athleisure.
I feel like they was dressed up to go out.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Like after this, we gonna go out to eat.
Yeah.
Or we gonna go out for drinks.
But yeah, man, I can't pinpoint what it is between Carla and Juan. And I want to say it's that he doesn't like her in the sense of he's tainted by all her things that he doesn't like about her. Mm-hmm. But then I can't say that.
I don't know what their thing is. It's a little bit confusing because from the beginning, I thought that they would be like at least the couple to have sex first.
Yeah, I definitely thought they would have had sex by now.
Because they both have a sexual energy about them. Mm-hmm. And Carla, specifically from the very beginning, felt like she was all in.
Yeah.
Right? So, and I don't even want to say it seems like Carla isn't all in. It just seems like Carla's just like, about the entire interaction.
And see, that's the thing. It's like now looking at this episode, right? Mm-hmm. And seeing that Juan was not truly into what they were doing. Mm-hmm. It's like, man.
But he did say he was uncomfortable.
Well, it's the thing of being uncomfortable, but then it's a thing of also being too playful because I felt like he was playing too much to really get the whole point of the exercise. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And so because when they switched, like the whole point of that was to get closer to her. Mm-hmm. And if you're trying to get closer to her, you take that more serious than I'm going to hit you here, rub it here, and but you're trying to truly get close to her. Mm-hmm. He wasn't. And then their issue is, or the thing that they talk about, they're still working on their intimacy or their closeness to each other. Mm-hmm. Well, that's as close as you can get without having sex, or that exercise there is to do that. And so I don't think that brought them any closer to each other. Mm-hmm. I just think it, at best at this point, I think they would just be friends.
Yeah.
It's hard to say if one has friends on her or not, but it's like, it's qualities about her that I think one does not like about her.
I just looked it up and it says this practice, talking about tantric sex.
Tantric yoga?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I read tantric sex in this sentence above it. It said this practice brings together spirituality and sexuality and emphasizes the importance of intimacy during a sexual experience.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know, man. I'm really curious to see where their relationship goes because
it's not going
they're working on a closeness with each other that's not really working. Mm-hmm. And I think it's because of Juan. Mm-hmm. So that's all I got for you.
All right. So next is Madison and Alan. Or no, let's go with David and Michelle. Michelle went and sat down with Pastor Cal. talks to him about David's texting. She says her parents are divorced because of infidelity. I was like, okay, so exactly how we called it. She's saying that now she doesn't trust him because this feels like infidelity. Because he's going out for coffee with people and he's texting, I want to eat you, to other people. And or perhaps the same person, we don't know. But she's like, I feel like this is like my parents. Girl, you was gonna divorce him anyways. Now it makes you look like the better person.
Yeah.
Because you have a reason, quote unquote, to divorce him. And I'm not saying that it's not a valid reason, right? But you were going to do this beforehand. You just found something to latch on to.
Do you think this happens if she gives David a shot?
No.
And that's my point, right? My point is, if you truly came into this and said, all right, this is my husband, this is what I'm going to do, you know, we're going to try it. And you truly gave him a shot. I do not think this happens because of who David is. But as David said when they were talking to Pastor Kyle, he's been rejected upon being rejected upon being rejected. What is he supposed to do? Everybody says he should wait the 8 weeks.
I mean, he should have. I'm not in disagreeing with that. Disagreement with that.
But it's like, because he didn't, and we all are seeing this, because he didn't wait the 8 weeks, I'm like, your attention is going to go to what you need as a man, as a husband, whatever. You're a human being. Your attention, like if you don't feel like you're getting something here, you're going to go out and seek it because you need it. That's like if you go to a grocery store and the grocery store that you have don't have the frosted mini wheats that you want. Yes, I eat frosted mini wheats.
How did we get here?
But you're gonna see, okay, well, we don't have this at my home grocery store. Well, do they have the off-brand? Nope, they don't. Okay, I gotta go to another store because I need those frosted mini wheats. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So it's that's what it's.
My thing is that Married at First Sight is a gamble, right?
Yeah.
You just got to mentally prepare yourself to have 8 weeks of torture or 8 weeks of sanity.
Right.
And he just on the back end of his 8 weeks. I think he got like two weeks
2 or 3 weeks, 19 days.
2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
You got 2.5 weeks left. Just figure out. Now, he said that he went out for coffee with a girl he met on Tinder who is
his ex-girl.
Yeah, who's in a relationship now. That doesn't strike me as awkward because I'm also married to a person who is friendly with people that he's dated in the past.
Yeah.
You ain't going out for dinner with them, but also it's hard to go out to dinner with people that don't live in the same city.
Right. My issue with what he said was the difference between me and him is, it's funny, we got the same name.
Yeah. Guess it's a David thing.
Yeah. The difference between me and him is, one, he lied about it. Two, it's for me, it's hard to, it's easy to see the wrong, right? Mm-hmm. Because you're married and you're entertaining other women. Mm-hmm. But then I always have this thing. There's conversations needed to be had to prevent cheating. Mm-hmm. If you want to say that he cheated on you because emotionally he was texting somebody else because he wasn't getting the emotion that he needed, or just the friendliness that he needed to make this thing succeed, he's essentially living with a roommate who happens to be a girl. You know, so it's like...
And I think a roommate situation would have been even better for him because at least him and the roommate would probably have a common ground of, you know, like liking the same things.
Yeah.
Because when you've had roommates, I've had roommates. being able to say, hey, you want to go get something to eat?
Right.
That's not something he can do with her.
Right.
However, unless it's production led. However, I do feel like it should be stated aloud to her directly, hey, this ain't working, bro.
Right. Like that's the issue I have with David is a lot of everything he was doing, he was trying to do in private. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't and I know it's hard to say, hey man, this is what I'm out here doing. Mm-hmm. And he's saying it like he went on a date with the girl to go get coffee. If that's your friend, you don't have to bring up it's an ex that I met on Tinder. It's just a friend I went out to go eat, get coffee with. Mm-hmm. Talk about her relationship.
Yeah. It's like this. I know it's not the same, but it would be like if you say I'm going out for drinks with my middle school girlfriend, her husband probably gonna be there too.
Yeah.
Nobody would think twice about that. Right. Because he was like, she's in a relationship now. I'm like, all right, she's in a relationship. She's somebody that you dated. We don't know if it was actually an ex-girlfriend. I think he just said dated. I don't think he said it was an ex-girlfriend. But went on a Tinder date equals dated.
Yeah.
Don't really know what to do next. But I still feel like a conversation should have been had with Michelle that basically is like, hey, I'm tired of trying.
Yeah.
But I would have had that conversation with her probably.
We wouldn't have made it to the first month before I had that conversation.
Yeah. Honeymoon.
I would have went through the honeymoon.
With the way she was acting, I wouldn't have gone through it without a conversation.
Yeah, we definitely would have had a conversation.
This is where my issue lies with you because he's been, from what we can see, and I think she agreed, he's been getting beat up and berated about every little thing about him, but he hasn't said anything back to her.
Right.
So she's out here living like I'm little Miss Perfect, and he needs to change all these things about him. And I mean, that can get to a person, right? However, bro, you got to figure out something.
Yeah, you can't just go up here and just be like, I'm just gonna go rogue. That's the problem. Because when he sit down and talk to Pastor Cal, he finally tells the truth. Or no, he doesn't tell the truth, but we know what the truth is. Bless you.
Thank you.
Michelle's like it's kind of pointless at this point for her because he was like, why do you care? You haven't cared about anything that happened that I did this whole time, but just on this subject, you care.
I agree.
And it's like, man, for me, I'm looking at it like, let it go, Michelle. You know y'all wasn't gonna stick together.
She has found her hook to make him the bad guy.
Yeah, I got you.
Because for 5.5 weeks, it has been, I don't like this, I don't like that, I don't like this, I don't like that.
She couldn't find a real thing to be like, David's not a good fit for me.
Yeah.
Everything that she was saying and the experts have been telling her this whole time it's superficial and you're not giving it a shot.
But and now she's like, gotcha.
I don't have to give it a shot because he's up here lying to me.
Cheater, pumpkin eater.
Yeah, she feels a way because he's lying. Like I feel a way because he's lying.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, stop lying.
I wish he would not have lied and he would have just been like, hey, this isn't working. Yes, I'm talking to other women because this isn't working. Sorry.
And let me tell you how MAFS play too much. So Denise is David's cousin who she calls and said, because Pastor Kyle told him to call. And I know David, I was like, David's going to send her a text message to be like, cover for me or something, which he did. And Denise was like, nah, when I figured out what it was that he was wanting me to cover for, I couldn't do it. So he was texting, he whatever he sent to you was not to me. And
the cousin that I am absolutely would not have covered for you, but I also wouldn't have talked to Denise. I mean, to Michelle.
Yeah. If we had if we didn't have the type of relationship, what are you calling me for?
First off, you don't want to be with my cousin.
Yeah.
He's made that abundantly clear to me. What is it that you need?
Right.
I'm not talking to you about this. What is it that you need that I'm willing to talk to you about? Because at this point, you don't like him. I know you don't like him. Why are we going through this song and dance?
For me, I'm not going to be that confrontational.
No, I'm saying like in my mind, that's my thing. Like I'm not going to answer the phone for this girl.
Right. What are you calling me for?
I watch my phone ring for people that I actually want to talk to. I'm definitely not going to answer for you.
No, it's just you see it and you're like, God, this let it go, Michelle. But then her Inspector Gadget antenna pulls up and she's like, well, I gotta get to the bottom of this. For what? Does it change what you were gonna say at decision day?
Yes. You know why it changes? It changes from we're just not compatible to he's a cheater. Yeah. That's the change.
And I hope the experts say something when she says that.
That's the change.
You're absolutely right, but here's why. Because there's always a cause and effect.
No, some people just cheat.
Some people do, but in this situation, we know there's a cause. And the effect was, well, I'm going to just sit out here and do what I want to because I'm not getting what I need at home. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's a fair assessment of it. Yes, should David have moved in a different way? Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of this conversation could have been avoided by David saying, hey, this ain't working for me. You need to do some other things differently. And that still goes down to the thing that I say on the said in the panel. A lot of times the men of the show are walking on eggshells because men have to have a very they basically want the women to feel safe and secure. Like not that they're with some type of predator guy or anything like that. Mm-hmm. So that's the hold up with the men on the show. And then so you come into it and you're seeing and you're like, okay, I get that part. But then it's like you're not getting what you need. So here it is now. You're in this situation. Mm-hmm. And for David's defense mechanism, deny. Mm-hmm. So, but Married at First Sight ain't nothing because how they have David and Madison on the after party and then show because Michelle is like on the preview. I think it's a small piece of me think it's Madison.
Technically, David and Madison's relationships have the most drama this episode. That's why they bought them.
Yeah. But I'm just saying,
there was nothing for MM to come on and talk about.
No, but I'm just saying, man. Did you like?
I did peep that.
I was like, y'all,
and it was like, Madison, what do you think about that? I was like, okay, then Keisha, I'm waiting on you to have a break. Right. And speaking of Madison and Alan, Dr. Pia came to visit them. Madison is like, yeah, I think that intimacy would be great for us. I think that, if we choose to go there, this will be very helpful. I'm like, girl, stop. If we choose, you don't like this man.
Yeah. And I don't know why she don't like him.
I don't know. They ended up getting an intimacy basket from Dr. Pia. And one of the questions that they had in the basket was like, what do you like to do after sex? He was like, jump in the shower. I was like, I don't think maybe I guess like in a midday. Yeah. But like at night, everybody's just going to sleep. Yeah. Go pee.
Wipe or clean up and go on the bed.
I'll handle this in the morning. Alan tells her, they start talking about what they thought of each other in the beginning. And he said, hey, I don't think this now, but when I first met you, I felt like you were, that you thought of sex as transactional and were very superficial. That hurt her to her core, apparently. And I don't think that it hurt her to her core as much as, I can't believe he had the audacity to say this to me. Mm-hmm. Because she kept saying, I'm not mad at you, all the while being mad at him.
Yeah.
You about to say something?
No, I was gonna say. I think the issue was the transactional part because he basically called her a hoe. And that's all she heard.
I'm not disagreeing with that sentiment.
But
of what she heard. Because that's what you hear. And I mean, people say things and we hear something totally different than what they said, right? Yeah. All the time. And on top of us hearing things differently, he's not the first person to say that to her.
And that's the issue. And it's like for her to like him seeing her, you know, shake her butt, dancing, you know, it's fine. You know, nobody doubts that. But we've seen on occasion after occasion where she's gone out. Like they go out together, you know. And Alan's looking at it like you go out all the time. You know, you're going out dancing and doing this and doing that. And
she definitely goes out like a girl who's trying to get chose.
Yeah.
Not one who's trying to be married and be in a relationship. Kind of like Alexis and Justin. Real tall black guy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like she was going out every weekend. She was like 3-4 days out the week. She'd be like, I'm going to the club. And I'm like, how old are you?
Right.
What is it in the club that you're looking for?
At what point do you grow out of that? And for Alan, it's like, this is what I thought of you in the beginning, which that's okay because in the beginning, you know we didn't. We didn't have the slightest idea who each other were.
And she's like, I need to go for a walk.
And so she went out then that night.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and one thing I think Alan messed up on that I was like, man, you got to pick your battles a little bit better, is when he tried to make the point of, you say things about me that's hurtful all the time. Mm-hmm. And you just want me to get over it and move on. But I say one thing about you and you break down.
I don't disagree with him there.
I don't. But it's like, do you bring that up at that time?
Yes. Because he's not been allowed to bring anything up at all ever this entire relationship.
Yeah.
It was like, you don't find me attractive. Do you really want to talk about that today? Yes, I do. When are we going to talk about it?
Yeah.
It's like every time she's going to get cornered into having to have a real opinion and state like what she really thinks, she's like, nope, I'm not doing that.
She out here ducking and dodging. And it's all because he's a nice guy. But I was like, you're trying to, the way I saw it, right, when they were working out and stuff, I was like, you're trying to put your foot down where she's still hurting from whatever.
She wouldn't hurt.
Like she's still putting on that her feelings are hurt.
She was offended that he would say that to her.
Right. So my thing is, or from my experience, table that conversation for another day. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, if you're gonna apologize, go ahead and apologize. You know what I'm saying? But just have it in your mind when you know maybe tomorrow or later on that day. But it's a thing of...
I believe she was going to ride that offense train to decision day. If he brought it, like him bringing it up or not bringing it up. I can't believe he said that because then she changed the subject. I don't remember if it was her confessional or if it was in conversation with him. But she was like, people have been like out here spending daddy's money. That has nothing to do with anything.
Yeah.
Because he was talking about you in your persona as far as sexuality is concerned.
In the beginning.
Because he's and then like, you go on to say somebody told me I was spending my daddy's money. Those two things don't even go together.
But you know that's just where the conversation like goes. Mm-hmm. Because she's been told this before and it hurt her feelings before, and then all of a sudden a guy she doesn't like, Alan, that she's trying to get to know a little bit better, Alan says the same thing. So I'm like, it's how you put yourself out there.
Mm-hmm. So if that's how you put yourself out there, instead of stepping back and being like, okay, what about me makes people perceive me this way? She's like, you're wrong.
Yeah, but it's like I don't know. I don't know who said it, but they were like, I think Keisha said it. She was like, but you went out. Mm-hmm. You did the exact thing that he said, that this is what made me perceive you that way. Mm-hmm.
And she had nothing to say to that because it was like, got me.
Right. Like, that's the dumbest thing in the world. And I'm looking at the situation. I'm looking. The biggest turnaround for me was when they were in the gym and they were trying to have that conversation. And she walked off because he was like, "You're not giving me to say, like, you want me to give you some grace and time, but you don't give me that same thing." And you're being like, when he called her sensitive, mm-hmm. You're way more sensitive than I am. Bruh, like.
You are. You're showing it right now in this moment that you're sensitive.
Right. You're showing it. We see it.
And this is coming from a person who's very sensitive. Like, I am as sensitive as they come, but I pretend to be a thug on TV. However, not on TV, obviously. But it was like that was her hook. Yeah. And this is what I'm going to use to get out of it. Mm-hmm. Now, ironically, this is just to go to that boxing thing that the guys did. Yeah. They had David and Alan boxing each other. I saw
that and I was like, if Alan only knew.
He gonna find out.
He definitely gonna find out. And it's gonna be soon too. Mm-hmm. But would you not, like, I don't know, man. It's just that whole situation with her and getting onto that and like getting upset with what he said his initial thoughts were about her, just from looking from the outside in. It's like, man, they gonna perceive you that way because that's how you act. Ain't nothing you can say about that.
Nobody's ever said that about me. No. And so, I mean, it's just one of those things where it's like, all right, people feel this way about you. Instead of looking internally and being like, hey, what actions am I doing that are giving this off? You're just like, I don't like this. You supposed to be my safe space. I'm like, safe spaces can tell you about yourself too.
That's why they're safe spaces. It's, in your safe space that whatever the person is saying about you is not coming from a malicious place. Mm-hmm. It's only coming from love.
And he was like, you know that I really care about you. And she was like, I don't know that. Now you being dramatic.
Right.
Your feelings hurt and you just need to be dramatic.
She know he has her best interest. Because he's a nice guy.
She just don't like him.
That's it. And she likes David. Or David has sparked her interest in some shape, form, or fashion.
David is like Steve Urkel. I'm wearing you down. Right. But I don't even think it was like a...
You think David texted her that?
I don't, maybe.
I wonder, that's the question. I wonder what happened, or it could be the question. It's probably not. I wonder what happened between David and Madison that Michelle says a small piece of me thinks is Madison. Mm. Like, what could you speculate?
I do know that when they were all at the Sound Bowl, apparently Carla was there too.
Yeah. Like when they all went out. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they was like, David was helping Madison find her phone.
Yeah.
And Carla was like, wait, what happened? I ain't seen none of that.
Was she?
Like when she was talking about like the text messages, she was like, I didn't see him in his phone, like texting and stuff. She was like, what happened? Okay, I'm gonna keep my eye on him now. Carla's gonna be the one to be like, yep, and you know what happened? Like once it's put together,
she gonna be like Wancho. She gonna tell Wancho. See, that's the thing. People don't. I don't know who I was talking to about it, but it's like, man, if you tell one spouse.
We was talking to Jack and Glenn.
Oh, you like the other one is gonna know. Yeah. The other one is gonna know.
Yeah.
Like what it is that was said. Mm-hmm. So because I mean, like they gonna talk about it, man.
Yep.
It's like I'm gonna tell my best friend what it is that we need to, like, that I found out. Like, Come on. Anyway, that's all I got, man.
All right. If you guys haven't already, again, please subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and comment down below. What do you think was the turning point that made Michelle believe that it was Madison that David was texting? And apparently, it's the truth. Roof.
Apparently. Rumor mill. Rumor has it.
Folks been posting pictures of them left and right now. Apparently, they be outside together.
Rumor has it. Ain't that a song?
Yep. All right, we'll see y'all tomorrow.
Somebody say Domino's.
For what are we doing tomorrow? Love Brew tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard
Bring
Time.
your coffee and bring your conversation.
All right. You got anything else?
Nah, that's it, man.
All right, bye, y'all.
Peace.